find that line, like, okay, hey, I have this new idea. This is going to help the company grow. The way that you deliver it, the way that you break it out to your team members has to be strategic. And when we first started, man, like I would have an idea every single day. We're always having ideas and sharing with each other. And that's one thing, right? You have a partner, another entrepreneur, that's different. You can't share all your ideas with your team members because you'll freak them out, right? So there's a process that we do, and it's called thinking time, right? Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the BMF podcast. Today, we're going to lead with...
Today we're going to talk about the 6 leadership principles that's going to guide recruiters to spark a change in their company.
Awesome.
I'm excited about that.
That sounds very exciting. Guys, if you haven't already been watching our podcast, the link's in the description below. Check us out on Apple or wherever you find your podcast episodes. It's a lot of good information, guys, especially if you're new to business, especially if you're a recruiter, you want to grow your business. We're sharing with you everything that we know about going from 0 to 7 figures of revenue in a single year with 0 investment, 0 seed money, just using what's up here and being savvy and resourceful. So we're not only sharing marketing tips, but business tips as well. And of course, we always got to include the family because we're both parents.
So yeah, we'll give you some tips on those too, like balancing the entrepreneurship journey, being a leader, a boss, owner, all those things, as well as having a family, having children, especially if you have multiple children.
Right.
So take notes on what we're going to talk about. And, of course, you can always replay this, but definitely take notes.
Yeah. We even like each other from time to time.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes. Awesome. All right.
The love is always there. That's the main thing.
All right. So the leadership tips are how to... If your business is struggling, you're struggling with culture, you're struggling with finding the right people. So here are some things you can do to fast track that. So Stacey, leader number 1.
So the first one is innovation. A great leader is always going to bring new ideas or have people in their business company that's going to bring new ideas. You have to be open to new ideas as well. Of course, things that are working, you still want to have them in place and continue having them in your processes in your company, but you want to expand on them, you want to grow on them, you want to maybe make some tweaks depending on where you're at, what stage you're at in your company. Because as people, we change, we reinvent ourselves all the time, so does our company. And so you need to be innovative.
Right, and I think there's a huge distinction there between you as the owner, right, as an entrepreneur. We entrepreneurs typically embrace change. We understand that like life is growth, life is change, and we're rolling with it. Your team members, your employees, the people that are working with you, their demeanor might be more towards they're scared of change or change is frightening, right? Think about it, like the biggest life event, you graduate college and now all of a sudden, like now what do? You graduate high school, it's like all your friends, like now what do you do? So most people, they don't really embrace change. So you have to find that line, like, okay, hey, I have this new idea. This is going to help the company grow. The way that you deliver it, the way that you break it out to your team members has to be strategic. And when we first started, man, like I would have an idea every single day. We're always having ideas and sharing with each other. And that's one thing, right? You have a partner, another entrepreneur, that's different. You can't share all your ideas with your team members because you'll freak them out, right? So there's a process that we do, and it's called thinking time, right? And you can start off with just an hour a week or just one day a week where you bring your ideas and you become your own board of directors. You critique your ideas, right? Because everything bad that happened to you started off as a good idea, right? So you write that idea down and you make a pros and cons list, okay? And you might have in a week 3 ideas, right? Or maybe 10 ideas, whatever it may be. You write them all down and then you go through a mental process of, okay, what's the downside? If this doesn't work, am I losing money? Am I losing, even more importantly, time, opportunity loss? You go through that process with yourself, critiquing your own ideas, right? And the end result is, out of those 3 ideas, you'll find one that's really solid. And sometimes you might say, you know what, I'm gonna sit on this for a week or two, come back next week when you do your thinking time and say to yourself, okay, now that I've thought about it for a week, it ran in the background of my mind, is it still worth pursuing? Because once you bring it to your team, they're gonna take it as law, right? They don't understand that, hey, this might work, it might not work. If it doesn't work, we'll make some adjustments. That's not how they're thinking. So if the idea fails, you lose some of that clout early on, especially if you're new in recruiting, if you're new in business, and people haven't been with you that long. It's gonna take some time for them to adjust to your personality and understand that, hey, you do make consistent, good decisions for the company. So really keep that in mind. You might be having all these ideas, but have a system where you either go through it yourself, or maybe go through it yourself, and then you have your wife, your spouse, someone that you trust, go through it as well, another set of eyes on it. So you're protecting your team from yourself. And I had to learn that the hard way early on in my business career.
Yes, perfect, awesome. So now we're gonna talk about systems. So that's the next leadership skill that you need. So in any business, and even in life, I believe, even in your family, you need to have systems in place. Systems and processes is the key to running this whole machine. And you need to figure out what is gonna be your system. So when you're creating, if you're new, documenting your process is always number one. And we've talked about this in other episodes before. So always documenting your process, seeing what actually is working, what's not working, and the things that are working, put them into your system, create a system out of that. You will have multiple systems in your business, depending on how big your company is, even how small it is, but you may have different departments or you may have different systems for different roles. So having a system is very important. And I know, like, for us, like, we have our systems in place from the operations side, from the sales side, from even the client success side. So definitely you want to make sure that you have them down pat. And, if you ever need any assistance with that, definitely reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to kind of look at your system and see if there needs to be some tweaks there that, hopefully can help you.
So if you're struggling right now with, you can't seem to hire people that stick, they're not delivering, or you feel like, like you're still doing everything yourself, because that's really frustrating. As a business owner, 90% or 100% of the service that you do, and you have to wear these multiple hats, right? The worst thing in the world is now you hire someone, you're paying them, giving them a portion of your hard-earned money, and they're adding more to your plate. Like, that is frustrating, right? So how do you give yourself the best chance of that not happening? And this is what Stacey's talking about with the systems and the processes. So you need to first identify, okay, I might be doing 5 things. I don't want to do all 5 anymore. I'll do these 4. I need someone to come in and take this one off my plate, right? Don't try to say I'm gonna have someone come in and do all these 5 things. It's not gonna happen, right? If it did, they would be an entrepreneur themselves. They wouldn't need to work for your company. So identify 1, maybe 2 things that you can take from your process to say, I want to have someone come in and help with that, right? And the goal is for that person to become better than you at that one thing, right? So detail it out. Like, don't just like, a lot of people, they'll go and they'll find a job description. Oh, I need an account manager. Oh, I need an assistant. And they'll go on Indeed or LinkedIn, whatever it is, and they'll find someone else's description of, like, of the person they're looking for, and they'll just put it in their own words and they'll see that's it, it's done. Well, if you do that copy and paste, you're gonna get a copy and paste result. You really have to sit down and say, okay, here's how I do this, right? And we talked about before in a past episode, creating a scorecard. So, let's say it's sales, right? Look at, okay, what makes me good at sales? Why have this been working where I'm able to bring people in, bring in new clients, right? So you want to think about the characteristics that you have that helps you with sales. You're going to detail those out in the scorecard, enthusiastic, belief, belief in the service, things like that. Write those out. Then the processes. So you'll want to make sure that you set a goal. So right now, if you're individually bringing in, let's say 2 clients per quarter for your recruitment firm, right? Something like that, right? And that equates to, let's say, $50,000 a quarter of business, right? So that's the starting goal. You need someone that's going to come in and do exactly what you're doing, right? So you're looking for someone that can just come in and hit that right away, that particular function. You outline all of that and you put it in a document. So this way, yeah, it's going to be in the job post, but also the documents. When you're interviewing people, you're going to say who is most likely that everyone I interview can come in and achieve these goals right away without a ton of training. Because I think we all get ourselves into trouble by thinking that, hey, we can help people get to where we need them to be versus just hiring someone that's already there. Yeah. You know, that changes everything. Just that little mindset tweak. Don't hire someone to train them up to where you need them to be. Hire someone that's already there, because at the very with some training, they can start doubling your results, and now your business is on the fast track.
Definitely. And not only a way to document, like just going back to documenting the process, not only doing the scorecard, but just having record yourself doing the work. That can be part of your training that you give, like creating that training process, create SOP, just making sure that, especially when you're starting out, you understand the roles that you want in place. Mm-hmm. You've been in that role at one point, and that's a role that you no longer want to be in, but you understand it so that you're able to identify the characteristics that you want, identify the type of person that you want in that role. So it's really important, especially when you're starting out, to really wear those hats, I think, so that you understand and you know the type of person that you want in that role, and the skills that you want that person to have in the role, the characteristics, all that. So I think that's really important when you're starting out. So of course, as business owners, we know things are gonna be great and things are not gonna be so great. And the times that it's not gonna be great, we still need to be resilient. We still need to know that there's hope. We still need to know that, we're gonna make it out of the hump. There's gonna be times in the business where there's gonna be a hump that you have to get over, and it's gonna be okay. And that, I think, any great business owner, all the greats out there, they went through that. They went through the phase drought of the hump of probably no income, struggles, but they didn't give up. And that's the key.
So one of the things that really helps with that is affirmations. This is something that I personally believe in, and Stacey and I, we do this every single day. We have about 25 to 50 just sentences that we read to each other. Sometimes it's I'm coming from the gym and I'll call her and I'll read them, but daily affirmations, because it is tough in business. And if you are the leader and other people on your team see that, man, you really look sad, or, you're having a tough day, there's a ripple effect. It's you need them to believe in your vision. If you don't believe in your vision, if you're not emulating that vision, how can they believe in it? So resilience, that's something that I think every good leader, entrepreneur, recruiter needs. But the way that you keep yourself, and some people might be, listening to their favorite song every day to get them in that zone. That's fine. Your own little dance party, right? Yeah. Whatever it takes. Some people might be taking a cold shower. Just find something. For us, it's affirmations. Find something that just gets you pumped up for the day, and you can handle the bad news better. You always kind of want to be even keel. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just steady, and secured, and people will follow that. People love that.
And since you mentioned people, so the next one is people first. As the goal of business is never to really, for majority of people, not to be a solopreneur. You want to be a business owner. Mm-hmm. You want to have a team. You want to have a company. That's how the most people who are successful have. They always have a team. There's very, very, very probably few people, I don't even know any, that are solopreneurs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of solo recruiters that we work with.
True.
And hey, if that's you, that's fine, right? You make your money, you do what needs to be done, that's fine. But if you're looking to build a team, one principle to have is people first, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about having core value. If you're just throwing out a small company, we recommend 3 values that really embodies you and what you want the business to be, right? And when we first started off, I believe our core values was people first, we protect our people, and we say it, we have a huddle every week and we say these core values. So one is people first, we always protect we remember to be good people, not just people good at business, right? Because there's a difference.
Oh my gosh, it's on.
So there's one that we used to have, I think we adjusted it, but done's better than perfect, right? So a lot of times we procrastinate, we want to do this thing, this whatever it is, and we spend so much time doing it. I remember hearing a story of some of our early recruitment clients that would spend 3 hours making a 5-minute content video. And that's an insane amount of time for something that was only 5 minutes of production, right? That's what we're talking about. Sometimes done is better than perfect. Like, just get it done. You can make a content video, 5-minute content video in 7 minutes. A minute to prep your camera, 5 minutes to record, a minute afterwards to just send it out to who needs to be sent to or post it, right? It shouldn't be something that a whole production takes so long. So that was one of our early core values. I think we've adjusted it since then, but just to kind of give you ideas of some core values, right? And then one of the things that I really love that we do now, that we did into early on, is we actually have individual meetings with our team members. Our company's boutique. You know, we decided we don't want to have a 30, 50, 70 person company. That's not who we are. We'd rather be, 8 to 12. Like, that's kind of like our sweet spot. So we have the opportunity we have weekly meetings, individual, and then Stacy conducted, she runs these with our fulfillment team, our team members. And they're 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Yeah. Talk about what's going on with the clients, talk about what's going on with the responsibilities, but also it's a safe space that allows for two-way conversation. And that's huge, because a boss tells you what to do and doesn't listen to feedback. A leader shows you what to do and embraces feedback. It's a two-way conversation. And for a team member, that's huge. I mean, they get to express not only things going on with work, but also their personal life. And no matter what people say, things that goes on with you personally, you bring it to work. It's going to have an effect on you.
Yeah.
So I really love that she implemented that. And I've seen the effects, like happier team members, which rolls into like more success with the clients, because you're enjoying what you're doing, you like where you are, you're going to produce better results. So I think that's huge. People first. And if you have the opportunity to implement a 15-minute, 30-minute, just a one-on-one session, try it out, see how it goes. A safe space. Talk about, hey, what are you struggling with, right now in the business, or with your responsibilities? How are things going with you personally? I actually took a piece of that in our sales team meetings. We have a day where we go round robin, like everyone gets to share a personal win or a personal challenge. And we've learned so much more about our team members since we started doing this than the 3 years prior to when we haven't been doing it. We've learned more in the 3 months of doing this than the 3 years prior.
That's awesome. Yes, definitely. I challenge you to get to know your team members. Even for the big companies that are watching this, I know it could be challenging because of your time, but if you can at least do it monthly, check in with your team, individuals once a month, I think that would make a huge difference in your culture and just the way that they view the company that they're in. And even they're going to view you even differently, because they're going to feel like you care more,
Right. And if you're a 50-person company, 100-person company, meet with your executive team. But not to get the group meetings are important, but also that one-on-one. You might have 4 key. You can meet with each one of them once a month. Just a safe space type of environment where two-way feedback. Because as you get more successful in business, what happens is more and more people think your ideas are great. Right? And that's not always the case. Like, no one is batting 1,000, have 1,000 great ideas in a row, right? So you need people to tell you, like, that idea sucks, or that sounds stupid, or hey, that's gonna hurt us more than it's gonna help us, right? So creating those safe spaces allows your best to feel like they can come to you and tell you, like, hey, this might not be the result, this might not have the result we're really looking for, and you need that to stay successful. One thing to become successful, but you 100% need that to stay successful.
Yeah, and I've seen that even in our business. Like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. But what's great is that they're so comfortable saying that, but also providing an alternative, which I think that helps, and that relationship to grow with your executives, because they feel safe enough to say, like, I may not think this, they may not feel like this is gonna work, but they propose another idea versus just saying no. Because there's nothing worse than someone saying yes all the time, and then there's nothing worse than someone saying no but having no idea. It's like, okay, but you're saying no for what? So it's great when they can provide an alternative plan, and it becomes a collaboration is formed, which is awesome. So the next one is kindness. Now, kindness has been the theme word since 2020, and we all know why. But I want to just stress the fact that kindness is just really important, and this goes back into people first. it goes back into just building a really solid business, whether you're a solopreneur, have many people under you, just being kind, not only to the people that are working on your team and your company, but also your clients, future clients, because we all know businesses, of course, no matter what type of business you're in, recruiting as well, referrals are really important, right? And so when you're kind to those that you're working with and working for, that's going to tell them like, oh yeah, like I worked with this company, this recruiting firm, they filled a bunch of roles for me. They were just phenomenal, but also they're going to talk about your character. They're going to talk about even the people that you have in place. They're going to talk about their character. And so kindness is just very important, just being kind to others, talking kindly. Of course, like if you are very direct, you can still be kind. If you're very like to the point, very like, or laid back and just conversational, you can still be kind. Even if there's an issue, you can still be kind. So just that's another leadership principle that I think is very important for those in business to have, because when you are kind, it just trickles down to everyone that you interact with. It's going to bring you the long way. And then you can get those reviews too.
Okay.
So awareness, just being aware. So it's called you can call it intelligence awareness, social awareness, whatever it is. But I think everyone knows what awareness is, so I won't go too deep into it because I know we're over time. But just being aware of what's going on in the world, how it's impacting your company, maybe how it can be impacting the people that you're working with, your clients. So yeah, just being aware of what's going on so that you're able to make good decisions, make the right decisions for anybody that you're working with. So, all right, we're done now.
No, I like that. I mean, to just piggyback off of that, I mean, when COVID-19 happened, we have an international staff. So we have some people that are in the United States, some people that's in Canada, some that's in the United Kingdom, some people that's in Colombia or South America. It was a scary time. And I remember having a relationship with your team members to like ask them like what's going on in your specific country, like what's going on with your families, everything okay? That was huge. I feel like we grew together and we bonded, over that experience. And right now, I mean, at the time of this recording, like right now, Russia's at war with Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a company and you have people that have, your team members have family that are Ukrainian or could be potentially affected by the war. That's something as a leader that you need to be aware of, right? And be comfortable enough to have those one-on-one conversations, because if they see that you care about them, they can't help but care about you and your company, right?
Yeah.
Someone is taking their time to help you build your dream. You need to take the time to, make sure they're okay and care about them as well. So great principles.
So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you implement some of these principles. You may have your own principles, but hopefully some of these can be added to yours. And if not, hopefully, you take these principles and build a great foundation for your business.
Awesome. Hey, so thank you for taking the time with us today. Hopefully this has been insightful and help you establish your culture and working towards building that dream business, that you've always wanted. And take the time to comment below on this, on the YouTube video, and let us know some of the principles that you guys have in your business.
Awesome. Bye guys. See you next time.
If you're in the staffing and recruiting industry and you're looking for a 360 solution to get more recs fast and also to help you place open searches quickly, then we invite you to take a call with us. My team will love to chat with you. Click on the link that says book a call with us, and we'll be happy to speak with you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps us just keep on sharing our knowledge out to more people. That's the way that the algorithm works. The more people that like and subscribe, the more they'll share the content with other people. We love helping entrepreneurs. We love working with recruiters and staffing agency owners. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.